Next at 6, a man shot to death inside his own apartment where he was able to make it to before neighbors called for help. City in financial trouble. Hear from the mayor of New Britain about an audit being done to uncover a massive deficit. And for some folks, it's the final phase to have debris removed after Winter Storm Alfred, when FEMA will stop taking their debris from their yards. Eyewitness News at 6 starts right now.
Live from WFSB, Connecticut's most watched local news. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 6.
Well, we begin with developing news this morning out of Farmington. A major mess on Route 4 as crews race to repair a massive sinkhole there this morning. Good morning. Thanks so much for being with us. I'm Irene O'Connor. We have team coverage on this developing situation with Alessa in our traffic center and Kim Lucy, who is live on Route 4 in Farmington. First, let's go to Alessa. Good morning.
Everyone felt that for justice to be served, the defendant needed to be convicted on these 17 counts.
The verdict for the second suspect in the Cheshire home invasion case is now in, and it now moves on to the penalty phase. There was a sense of relief for the family and close-knit community in Cheshire. After deliberating for more than 8 hours, the jury convicted Joshua Komisarjevsky on all 17 counts for his role in the Cheshire home invasion. The verdict could now put him on death row with his accomplice, Stephen Hayes. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Matt McFarland live in the mobile newsroom outside New Haven Superior Court with the latest. Matt?
All new at 6, less than a month after Storm Alfred took down trees and branches all across our state, one town is starting its final phase of debris cleanup. Crews at West Hartford are doing one last sweep, street by street, to pick up downed limbs and branches. Channel 3's Hallie Jackson has the story.
Now to an early warning weather alert. A flood watch is in effect for the state. Taking you live now to our city cam in Hartford. It's a pretty gloomy day across the state, and as you can see by looking through that camera and here at our radar, the rain is moving into Connecticut. So let's get right over to meteorologist Mark Dixon and the Early Warning Forecast Center, just as everyone got their basements dried out. Mark? We are following several breaking stories this noon. First, police in 2 parts of the state, Milford and Southbury, are investigating the discovery of dead bodies. In both places, 2 bodies were found inside of a home. First, we take you to the scene in Milford on Bronco Court off Burnt Plains Road. Police say a couple was found dead there. Channel 3 New Haven Bureau Chief Robert Goulston is at the scene, and he's joining us on the Eyewitness News phone line with the very latest. Robert? All right, thank you, Robert. And we move on to our other breaking news story. Sadly, 2 bodies found at a home in Southbury. Pinpoint News Tracker takes you there. It's on Chain Trail. Now, state police tell us in this case, it appears to be a murder-suicide. They do say they got a 911 call from a concerned family member. Police forced their way into the home there where they found the 2 bodies. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Heather Hedges is on the Eyewitness News line right now. Heather?
Now, a terrible story from a quiet neighborhood in Florida. Police there say a mother shot and killed her 4 children before turning the gun on herself. Police say the children, who ranged in age from 12 to 17, actually tried to run to a neighbor's house for help. This was the scene out of Port St. John, Florida. SWAT teams and police called to the home of 33-year-old Tanya Thomas, whom police say shot and killed 4 of her own children before taking her own life. It all happened around 5 o'clock this morning when a neighbor called 911 after hearing shots fired. Shortly after that, the neighbor's doorbell rang, and she found 3 children at the front door. They said they'd been shot by their mother.
The resident says all 3 children went back to the house, but we know that from the crime scene that 1 did not make it back in the house. That's the victim that we found out in the front yard.
Police said the mother came out from next door and told the children to come back home. They did, and that's when neighbors say they heard more shots being fired.
Was that one of them had said something like he shot her, and then the one boy said, no, she shot me.
Police found the eldest daughter shot in the front yard. She was pronounced dead. SWAT team set up a perimeter around the home, and when they went inside, they found Thomas dead, along with the 3 other children. One of the worst stories we've had to report here lately. Police are still investigating and say they do not have a motive. Investigators say a neighbor got a cryptic text message from the mother before the shootings, stating that she wanted to be cremated with her children.
It was a somber day in Springfield, Massachusetts, as thousands came to say a final farewell to an officer killed in the line of duty this week. Officer Kevin Ambrose, a 36-year veteran of the force, was killed responding to a domestic violence case. Today, he was remembered as a man who built his life around faith, family, friends, service, and fun. One by one, family, friends, and thousands of police officers from all around the country marched to St. Catherine of Siena Church in Springfield, Massachusetts, honoring a fallen brother. Thousands more lined the streets as they laid to rest Springfield police officer Kevin Ambrose. Ambrose died in the line of duty on Monday after responding to a domestic violence call. Police say the suspect fatally shot Officer Ambrose before critically injuring his ex-girlfriend and then taking his own life.
He gave his life for a woman and a child who needed his protection. He laid down his life for principles that defined the type of man he was.
As many wiped away tears this morning, they remembered Officer Ambrose for his unique ability to always make anyone around him smile.
Kevin had a fantastic sense of humor. He could make everyone laugh in the most trying times. He also had the uncanny ability to diffuse a tense situation.
Today, many paid respects to the man who sacrificed his life for people he never knew. With a flag draped over his coffin, Officer Ambrose was laid to rest at the Hillcrest Park Cemetery in Springfield. His brothers and sisters on the force say he will never be forgotten.
Sleep well tonight, citizens of Springfield. Officer Kevin Ambrose, badge number 7, will be on patrol.
Officer Ambrose was 55. He's survived by his wife and 2 children.
Melissa, thank you. It was 1 year ago today when a powerful tornado tore through western Massachusetts, leaving a path of destruction behind. This morning, we're taking a look back. Video of that tornado was caught live on our sister station WSHM City Cam. It's been a long road to recovery in western and central Massachusetts, but today they have picked up the pieces and rebuilt. In the small town of Munson, just east of Springfield, lives were changed forever. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Kim Lucy caught up with residents there, still trying to recover.
Take a look at this. This is not something you see every day, especially in Connecticut. A moose on the loose right in the middle of Plainville. The DEEP captured this video of the big fellow roaming around a local neighborhood. It was spotted in backyards all morning long, creating quite a buzz around town. Eyewitness News cameras were the only ones rolling when that moose was finally caught, so check it out.
I've been dealing with a lot of bears, a lot of bear sightings in town, but I haven't seen a moose running around.
Neighbors had an unexpected visitor traipsing through their backyards today. A massive moose explored Maple Street in Plainville right in front of an amazed crowd. Neighbors snapped these pictures of the moose as it meandered all around this quiet neighborhood.
The moose was actually spotted about 4:30 this morning on New Britain Avenue, Route 372. Then we got another call about 8:30 that it was spotted right in a residential street over here.
After about 4 or 5 calls, crews finally caught up with it and got it cornered in a yard.
The main thing is public safety, and I knew he was safe in there and he couldn't run around anymore.
Police and DEEP surrounded it and used a tranquilizer dart to subdue it. But one dart wasn't enough for this gigantic animal.
Heads up.
Once the tranquilizer set in, it took a small army, including one of our producers who lives nearby, to lift the moose up and get him in the back of a truck.
Is it your first
Yes, it is.
run-in?
Yes.
Was it exciting?
Yes, it was.
It's kind of exciting to see something like that. The DEP says the moose was 676 pounds and estimates it's about 2 years old, Dennis.
It was relocated to a remote area of northwestern Connecticut. They never tell you exactly where because people like to go look for them, but I've never seen one in person, have you?
I haven't either. And it's funny because we had the bear yesterday, we have the moose today. Maybe something's disturbing their environment, their habitat.
Well, they're ripping all those trees down in the New Britain, Plainville area in the western suburbs of Hartford for the busway. So some people are saying that, but who knows?
Who knows?
You know?
Well, he's probably in friendlier environs now, where he wants to be.
We go now to news from overnight. Percival Avenue in Berlin is shut down this morning after a pickup truck struck a utility pole, a fire hydrant, and a tree. This all happened just before midnight between Carbo Lane and Highland Avenue. Currently, about 200 customers are without power in the area. No one was hurt. There's a chemical leak in New Haven on Lenox Avenue. Crews say a drum spilled outside the Eurotech company, a manufacturing company there. Officials will not tell us what the chemical in that drum was, but they do say it is not a health risk and no evacuations were needed. No one was hurt. A family in Wallingford, along with 3 first responders, had to be treated for carbon monoxide poisoning yesterday. Police say a mother tried to use a charcoal grill in her kitchen at a home on Spring Street. She and her 5 children were taken to Yale New Haven Hospital. A firefighter and 2 police officers were also treated there. A neighborhood in Old Saybrook is still cleaning up after beavers caused some major flooding in that area. It happened near Route 1 and Route 154. Department of Transportation officials say beavers blocked a drainage pipe near a swamp with a dam. Floods of water were spilled into people's yards. Once they cleared the debris there, emergency dams were set up to help stop the water flow. A woman is recovering now after jumping into Quinnipiac River, the Quinnipiac River in New Haven, to escape a rapist, she claims. New Haven police say the woman was walking in a park alongside the river when a man approached her with a sawed-off shotgun. After struggling with that man, she ran and jumped into the water. A kayaker spotted her and pulled her to safety. Police caught her attacker a short time later, who was also in the water. A weekend-long carnival in Wethersfield is raising money for the Keene Foundation. We'll tell you about it coming up. And the Occupy Wall Street protesters are being asked to leave. We'll explain why.